Hey everybody, Michael Bloxton here. I wanted to give you a framework that I've used to take an MTP into an actual real business moonshot today. And it's worked great for me. I've used it in conversation with Fran and Johan and a couple other people in our community. So I wanted to share it with you. Yes, this is from The Martian. Awesome t-shirt, awesome movie. I'm going to use an MTP about space. I was fortunate enough that my MTP came from a framework that Peter had shared about if you had $1 billion that you couldn't spend it on yourself, how would you impact the world? And from that question, my response internally was healthcare for some reason, and which I'm very happy about now, to provide the world with cutting edge medical care for pennies a month or free. And that MTP, I am not an engineer, I'm not a scientist, I am not a technologist, I am not in medical or anything. I'm just an entrepreneur that has been following Peter's stuff, and I think I've come across something amazing. So that's my MTP. I want to use an example to explain this thought process of going from MTP to Moonshot from a comment that was a thread that was started about creating a city on Mars. So let's say your MTP is, I want to create a city on Mars with 1 million people in it. The first thing you need to do in this framework is identify the MTP and then identify the resources needed for that MTP. Clearly, one of them being transport. Okay, so transportation. You need to be able to get there and back. What technologies are available today that can get you there and back? Technically nothing. But what technologies are coming? And there you have the BFR that Elon Musk is creating. When is that going to be commercially available? Let's say 5 to 10 years from now. Okay, if that's available 5 to 10 years from now, we know that our MTP is possible in the first review to be available for the world in 10 years. Let's look at the next thing, energy. You need abundant solar panels. You know, you've got cool technology happening already with solar panels. You've got neat things coming out soon like Rayton Solar, being able to slim down the size of the wafer and the weight. There's all sorts of cool technology happening in battery, as the Tesla that I love in my garage runs on this amazing battery that Elon built, and that's only getting better. So, you know, okay, that's great. That'll take maybe 3 to 5 years before that's really, really good enough to build a city of 1 million people on Mars. And you can continue to go down this, use the GGCs as resources. You know, you've got food, water, energy, the grand global challenges that Peter has outlined as a framework to identify what's needed to make that MTP real. And once you identify what's needed, you go back and see where's that technology on its development scale. Obviously, the BFR is in concept, hasn't actually been built, but it will be built and it will be delivering stuff to Mars. So once you go through this process, you have all these resources, you understand where these technology curves are using Ray Kurzweil's predictions and things like that. Then you bring it back to, you actually add one more piece to the resources, is the people. Who are the people that are going to be living on Mars? Who are the people that are going to help make that available? And you look at what types of people they are and try and really think from a marketing perspective, try to build the avatar of who that person is. And let's say, you know, the limiting factor brings the whole possibility, say 15 years out. Okay, so 15 years out, you know, how old are those people? Are they single? Are they married? What are they doing? Are they engineers? Are they all these things? You answered the avatar based on all that stuff once you have the time frame of the resources. You take those two things and you look at all the technology and bring it all the way back to what's there today. Some of that technology may not even exist, which is an opportunity. Some of it may be in its infancy. And where are those people at? Are those people, you know, are they even born yet? Or are they in their late 50s? Are they 60s? Are they whatever? Are they successful? And then you start looking at, okay, if that's where these people are today, and that's where this technology is, and this resource is, and this resource is, if I combine these two, I can create some really neat value for that person. This allows you to then build a moonshot based on what's available today or what's not available today, which is an opportunity, and who you want to target. Because you want to grow from today into that person over the next 15 years as your target, I guess. So building a real moonshot would allow you to build today for that MTP. You know, Elon Musk had PayPal or X.com, which is completely unrelated to Tesla or SpaceX. And then, you know, Solar City, but Solar City was related to Tesla, and he ended up buying it. I mean, Tesla could ultimately end up being, if the batteries become the primary thing, could end up being a part of SpaceX at some point. Who knows? But the alignment needs to be there, and I think the opportunity. Many people think, well, I'm a commercial real estate guy. What do I have anything to do about medical? But that's not the case. My MTP, I know the technologies are 5 to 8 years out that I need, and I know who is going to be using those. So I'm building something of great value today, using exactly what's available today for those people. So that, yes, the whole world will think that, oh, he's doing this really cool thing, but it's not earth-shattering, it's not MTP, but it leads me directly on that path to bring me into my MTP on time. Peter shares a story about the guys from Siri. The technology was here 3 years from now, and they were here, but they knew it, and they knew they could build. And by the time the technology arrived, they were the first on the scene, acquired by Apple, and that's, I believe, what Peter is sharing with all of us. So that's the framework around going from an MTP, identify resources, identify the avatar, and then bring that back into where are those things today. Have some discussions. I'd love to talk to people about that and walk them through these thought processes. I find all of these GGCs very fascinating. I'm personally in the healthcare space with mine right now, and I think it would be great to have a discussion about this stuff. If this is helpful, I would love for you guys to let me know, because I love to give. And if you guys have any questions or insights, or if there's any clarity that you guys could bring to this, I think that'd be great. Let me know what you think. Again, I hope this was helpful.